do a little bit, just a little bit more. Once I get worthless to level up, I'll go back and heal.
Remember, I thought you were talking about going to take on the rival already, but
oh no,
I don't know how comfortable I am with the other three.
I think me not knowing about the thing, I'm gonna take your advice and say if I can get everyone to a nice level 12,
yeah,
at least we'd have something to work with. Oh no, he wrecked me. No.
I mean, like, I think Odorita and Dwayne should be fine, but like, it's just the other members of the team would probably hold them back.
Not to mention if they have someone like, if there's someone who neither of them can fight.
Okay, like I know for sure that he'll have either one of the birds or Rattata. I think it's Rattata.
Right.
And then he'll also have, I think, Ghastly, which Wormy should be fine against.
Just need to beef her up a little bit so she's not glassy.
And like anyone that has any sort of elemental attack that's not normal, should be fine against the Ghastly. You just want to make sure you're high enough level where we're actually winning that fight, So I think 12 and 14 are probably like the highest the rival goes. Gonna risk it.
Dwayne, you haven't
for
had
the biscuit
action.
Because Dwayne's actions are so quick. He's a very fast rock.
There we go. Almost misclicked there. Oh!
Eh, what's a few misclicks? Just
oh
cost a
no!
Pokemon.
Growled. I'm so intimidated.
You just angered him.
Taste the will of my Onyx! Oh, he dodged.
He dodged an Onyx.
Do it again!
Like, he's not even, like, swinging the Onyx. He's just, like, throwing the whole thing.
Just, like, curls it up like a piece of string. It's like a ball of yarn and just
takes it in a big whirl and then just, woo! Like, as his opponent's running away.
And because
it's, like, lassos it.
And it's like Thor's hammer, so you can bring it back.
Just Rocky's corpse covered in blood of all Wayne's enemies.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna call that the Onyx bet. Oh man, he's sure is splashing.
Really effective move. I'm glad you chose to do that, Hoppin.
Oh hey, Blazy, you got dinner.
Blazy does love his plants. He's a vegetarian, as you know.
I'm gonna show you. You keep coming up, so I'm gonna show you what you can become. Watch as he tells you how to wield the Onyx bat.
He survived the Onyx bat.
And he keeps missing, so now I'm just gonna slam into him. That could be you one day.
It was effective enough.
Or at least it would be. Oh, yay! Worthless is level 10. Still didn't learn anything.
He's got Swift. We'll be okay. But it says you enter the town long before you've actually entered the town.
This cave is a part of our town, and you will show it some respect.
Good.
I got into the boat with so fast that I don't even have to pause it anymore.
Yeah, the only problem is it's kind of scary for me because I don't know how long ago you would have saved if I didn't happen to catch it,
Right. I'm trying to make it a habit to do it after every battle.
That's smart.
That way we don't have to worry about it.
Every 10 steps, just save. You just speed up there.
I was next. Oh, we can get a charcoal
for $9,800. God.
Okay, we're gonna get 5 of these. That's a good number.
So I think all we can catch right now, unless we backtrack a bit, would be a Spearow, I think.
2 potions ought to do it.
And whatever's in the forest.
Well, super potion be useful.
Yeah, but
it's like,
I don't. No one ever comes close to 50 yet, so
yeah.
I think we don't need it yet. Flower mail. That's a good use of our money.
Yeah, sure. We'll get to.
Why? Why'd you? Okay.
We
won't need that money anyway. I don't think. But okay.
We got repel. We got repel. I don't want to repel because honestly, we need to be fighting things. We have enough antidotes and paralyze.
Yeah, we're stocked up.
I'll buy 1 super potion.
Hopefully, we do not need to use it.
Anyway, back to the grind. The Slowpoke has disappeared from the town. I heard their tails are being sold somewhere.
Oh, I wonder who could be doing that. Maybe that man is suspiciously in black.
A man that
could have something to do with that.
Suspiciously, selling tails of Slowpokes. $1 million.
Remember when we were gonna buy one before the other town, or the cave?
I would have bought one if we had the money.
Taking a lot of cloning to get the money for that. Oh yeah, we can catch this.
Oh yeah, we could.
Rip Ruth.
Okay, survive this and you can do it. You can join us.
It's just how we gauge.
You lowered your attack, so you have a greater chance. Hey, you did it. Next test. So now that you understand our power, join us or die.
You don't go in the first Pokeball, they just die.
I don't. It's not like we're doing the first one of every route. I can afford to do this. We only recruit the strong and also ferret.
I really thought Brad Demick was gonna be something. He's so young. Perhaps we haven't lost anything since then. Rocky. Things have been too peaceful and it's kind of worrying me.
Let's see,
We've had a scare with Worthless and that's about it.
Yeah, he was.
Just gonna go with Ruth anyway.
I'm gonna go with.
This one's a boy though.
Ruth Demick.
Damn it.
Or no. Just Demick.
Live up to the Demick.
Yeah. Demick. There's Brad Demick, but now there's just Demick. It is lowercase because it's very insecure. Have now.
He's mad we saved.
How dare you! Now you're stuck with me!
God, there's such a big gap between Utterita and Dwayne and the others. They're all level 10, no, level 11.
Because everyone else knows they're expendable.
Oh god, I just remembered that Utterita's a Bayleaf now. Utterita really is a monster now. I think the Arrival might still have a Cyndaquil, by the way.
Oops.
I don't think it evolved yet. It's alright, it's not gonna do anything about it anyway. Actually, I think we could send in DJ Blazy and Bite would work. I don't know. Because they don't have a Rock Throw.
Yeah, and is it a Bite a Dark move?
Yeah.
It is. So it wouldn't hurt. DJ Blazy.
We are recording, right?
Yeah, we are. Woo! It's like I would. Here's what to ask. You actually watch a Tyler Perry movie?
I think you've shown me a couple.
Like not review, but like actually seen one all the way through.
Maybe? I don't know. It just didn't seem like my thing.
Honestly, I think you'd get a kick out of the later ones. Because I don't know why I'm in the minority when it comes to this opinion, but I really do think Tyler Perry's later work is terrible.
What, do other people think it's good?
Yeah, a lot of people love it. But you know, to each their own. I don't judge people by that. And this is for someone who actually really loves his early work, like House of Pain.
And just from what I've seen, though, I'm just sitting here like, God, people like this?
It's definitely very it definitely speaks to a demographic, mainly people. Like if you are a black Christian, you're gonna love him.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Especially the early stuff. The later stuff, I don't know. He's been tripping lately.
I don't know. It just seems like so extremely cheaply made from what I've seen, and like
the later stuff, absolutely. Like the earlier stuff, you can excuse that because he's shooting it by himself. He doesn't have a studio.
I get that. But I'm just like, it seems like from what I've seen, like Medea and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like
I'm just sitting here like, it feels like it's just making fun of stereotypes and with a lower budget than it should have, you know?
It's like, because the thing is, like, the earlier
it's coming
stuff...
out in theaters,
but
like, yet it looks like they rounded up $200 for this whole thing. And just rented out at their friend's apartment.
Because the funny thing is like, with the early stuff, the early stuff had a very particular theme.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was intentional or not. I'm going to say it wasn't, but it ended up being where the dark-skinned black man was always the bad guy, and he had to be saved by a light-skinned black guy.
What?
Like, that always happened. Like the dark-skinned black man is always bald, and he's always like the worst person ever. Like, I beat my wife and everything.
God.
I beat my wife, and I play blackjack and hook, and I love having sex with hookers. Don't you ever leave me, woman. Back, you know.
God damn it.
And like the light skin is always like, oh, I just got out of a bad relationship, and I'm just a gangster with a heart of gold.
Because I genuinely don't know which is Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry's Medea.
Oh no, I mean like no, like how dark is he? Like, cause like is he?
He's like me.
Okay.
He's around me.
I just want to know if he's like consciously doing that. If he's like doesn't like somebody or something, I don't know.
If he is, that's some self-hating stuff right there. Well,
I'm just trying to understand the picture here. I'm not trying to.
I get you. I get it. But it's like, the thing was, especially with A Fall from Grace, which I believe everyone needs to see, because it is such a testament of why I don't really respect him. Because he has all the money in the world right now. He has his own studio that's bigger than, you know, Warner Brothers.
Jesus.
And then
Get that.
And then you see, if you see Fall from Grace, like you see like boom, you see the boom mics. And it's like, it's not even like a mistake. They can have their own credit kind of thing as characters.
God damn.
like you can
that's kind of what I mean. Is like a lot of his stuff just seems like weirdly bad as far as like editing and stuff like that, and like direction. And I'm just like, I can see the appeal somewhat. You know, like how some people like a bunch of older sitcoms that I absolutely do not find funny.
It's like there are things like that. There is like the big thing that happened whenever the movie came out was like there was an extra, and they had the camera right on him, so you couldn't even see. But he wasn't eating nothing. But he had a plate of mac and cheese, and he just eat. Like, he put his fork down and pretended to eat. He wouldn't even chew. He just did it and looked straight at the camera while he was doing it, and and we'll pretend to drink water, but there's nothing in the cup. And the cup is glass, so you can see that there's nothing in it.
You know how people will take like stuff like Game of Thrones and any Marvel movie and be like pointing out stuff like that?
Yeah.
Although actually Marvel, to its credit, for the most movies at least, actually don't have much of that because like they really do care about their craft and all that. Anyway, so on. That's not the point. Anyway, like, have you noticed like people like will always point that out about with modern movies and like any plot holes, but like people just have like some sort of reference of stuff for like 80s and older.
Yeah.
Like there's no any sort of plot hole. Like the oldest you can go is like Titanic. That's like the oldest people will go to. They'll make fun of anything older than that's like they'll excuse whatever they want. Yeah, they'll just excuse it.
It's like
even movies that I love that are older, like say the Indiana Jones movies, they're riddled full of holes.
But like, because of the classics that they do,
people don't care.
It is
like they'll take like the newest Star Wars movie, which granted, Rise of Skywalker is a piece of shit, but they'll take any possible pot shot they can at it, and like they'll even take like fantastic movies. Like Endgame was like really, really freaking good, and they'll be like, "Oh, pacing issues." By the way, pacing issues doesn't actually mean anything. It's just them saying, "It felt too long for me."
It's like I've always heard that, but I've never understood what that meant. Like I get it means that sometimes it moves too fast, it's too slow, but like people kind of use that when they kind of miss something.
Yeah,
or it's like they probably weren't paying attention or something. Like
for
that.
me, pacing issues is like not an issue I really have. I do get it very occasionally. Like there are some movies that just really feel long,
Right.
But like for example, I do like the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but that one does feel really long.
Yeah, it's just like even then there's
Endgame feels really long. But it's just so much going on in that movie.
And it's like, I feel like it's because of just the nature of, like, you had people like CinemaSins and, Nostalgia Critic, where that was the popular thing, where it's like, let me just pick apart this movie. I don't really have anything to say. The movie's fine, but I just like picking apart these little things. And that became a substitute for actual criticism.
Yeah, that's weird. The thing I've seen on YouTube is that there's a difference between people who nitpick and people who, hey, where's this one bite?
Oh, good job.
There's a difference between people who nitpick and people who like actually know what they're talking about with story and film.
Yeah.
And know how to pick apart what actually is a problem or not.
Yeah, and it's like with me, I'm on the camp of I accept that I don't really care about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a very casual moviegoer, so like things like that I'll never catch unless the movie is just that incompetent.
Yeah, like there's like a lot, which is sort of a thing with all movies, is that there's a lot of credence you can give it as far as believability.
Yeah, like
Marvel will always be a good example for me. That a lot of that shit is, of course, obviously very unrealistic and unbelievable. Although they do give a lot of effort to try to make it believable.
Yeah, but it's kind of like you also gotta think another thing people kind of do that I don't like is that they kind of equate everything into this equal ground, saying that everything has to be kind of high art, and I don't necessarily agree with that.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's like, people will criticize, say, the Fast and Furious. I like those movies, but I would fully admit that it's dumb. It's stupid. But it's not trying to be anything else other than that.
I really like 5, but the others, I just...
They get so utterly ridiculous. Like the Rock picks up a torpedo and throws it at somebody at another tank while it's going in the ice.
I mean, I can respect the balls and stuff like that. That was the thing.
Like it's to the point where the Rock is. He might as well be a superhero because he just jumps off of buildings and he's just okay.
If we're just going to talk about Fast and Furious, like the thing, I didn't care for the early stuff where it's just about drag races and people in bikinis and shit like that. Like I didn't care about that. I could kind of dig like the whole crime family thing going on. Like that can be really well, as you've seen like Breaking Bad and other stuff. But like, God, I just can't stand those early movies where it's just about drag racing. Which is why I like 5. It's more of a heist movie.
It's like I like those heist
combined with an action movie.
And even then, everything else afterwards.
After that is just fucking action movies.
It might as well be a superhero movie, honestly. At that point, and it's like I enjoy that because it's just dumb. Vin Diesel never wears a shirt with sleeves. It's amazing.
I I just love how people like bag on superhero movies for having pulp when they really don't compared to shit like Fast and Furious. Like, there's so much more bullshit in that than there ever has been in Marvel.
But it's like, but I think that just comes to the fact that when it comes to criticizing movies and even like video games like I do, it just comes down to a fact of one, not equating everything as equal, and being more forgiving about certain things, and being more critical about other things. Like if I'm gonna criticize this game for doing this thing, but I'm not gonna criticize this game for doing that exact thing, then that's not fair.
That's a double standard.
And it's like, no, if you go judge this thing for having bad music, keep that same energy about that game that you like. I don't know. It's just like I always like looking at video criticism, especially on YouTube now. Especially how it evolved to where even now things like the Nostalgia Critic and the Cinema Sins are kind of like nobody really does that anymore because people want actual criticism now.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, we can poke fun and jokes, and if that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do. But like, if you're gonna say that this movie's bad, tell me why, or like what about it you don't like. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Like, in my opinion, of all like the video essay type channels where they'll like cover various things, like I have to say my favorite might be Hello Future Me, just because of like how constructive it is. Like he does a lot of like, cause like, as some of you in the channel might know, I'm a story type guy, and I really love his videos because like he'll explain and use examples from stuff like Avatar and Lord of the Rings and etc. of like how to do such and such as part of the good story, as far as like how does world building work here, how do you make a caste system and stuff like that,
right? What
makes a good power system. Let's use Avatar as an example because Avatar is a good example for everything. Apparently,
I mean,
which that's another thing I love about his videos is like every single damn one has Avatar as like a good example of how to do it right. And I'm just like, yeah, good point.
Don't be alarmed, but I think he might like Avatar a little bit.
Maybe.
But it's like, I do, because I did watch a few of his videos, and I'm like, I like how different it is. Like, it makes me look at things, and it makes me look at things in a different way.
Yeah. It's really helpful as a writer, I think. Because you can look at like what you're writing yourself and try and look at it through that lens and see how you can improve.
But even more than that, as someone who just likes to analyze and criticize stuff, it gives me an idea of like, okay, this is why I like this.
Yeah.
This is why this works and why this wouldn't work. So if I see something that doesn't like, I can be able to accurately explain why I don't like it or why.
Like, that's one thing I do like about storytelling is that a lot of the time you can kind of give reasoning for why you like something versus why you don't, which is kind of something that I can't do for music. Like if I make a top 10 list of my favorite songs by somebody, it's hard to articulate why you like this song more than the other one, And
I think...
But with storytelling, you can give like actual reasons of why you would like this more than the other.
And it's... and that's where you get into...
Yeah, it's just
my warehouse with music, because even then with music, criticism, it's like there's a lot that goes into it, where it's like you either have to really know it or have a degree in it or something like that to really be able to articulate how saying other than I like this beat or I don't like this beat.
Which is why like if I ever end up making like top such and such videos for music, I'm probably not even gonna give like any kind of talking points. I'll just make the list and that's it.
Yeah, this is
like how I made like such and such top 10 of the top 10 games of the year, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I've talked about the game a little bit.
Because it's hard when it comes to music.
With music, I can't do that.
That's a lot of people. Like a lot of people can't really articulate why they like certain things but don't like other things.
I mean, the thing is, like, I probably could for some songs, but like not for the whole list. And certainly not in and out for a bunch of lists.
It is like for video games, I could do that. Like I like games that get to the point. I like games that have a story that dwell. I don't like games that bore me.
Yeah.
Or it's like, that's why, you know, I'm not a big fan of sports games, but I do like the early sports games because they're dumb and fun. I don't like realistic stuff. Realistic simulation stuff I tend to stay away from. But with music, it's kind of like, I like things with a beat. Everything. Almost, that narrows down, like, you can take out Vaporwave, I guess, and like, maybe some atmospheric tracks, but out of that's like a whole thing. Like, you know, I like it when people use 808s in this way, or I like it when people, when there's a moving bass line. And it's like, even then, it's like, you really gotta think about it, which is why you don't see a lot of music criticism out there. It's easier to criticize movies and video games than it is for music, because music is just kind of harder to articulate why you don't like something. It's just, I don't know, man. It's so...
Like, I've always been one that can kind of respect going for grandeur, or, you know, going big, even if it doesn't go well. Which is why, like, I know you haven't watched Game of Thrones, but like the final season, as much as the finale was bad, I do respect them for going for a big operatic kind of tragedy with that finale. I do respect that much, at least. And while I can't respect Rise of Skywalker for making similar go big or go home, because like nothing absolutely made sense at all, and it just felt so hollow. Like, it's kind of weird, I guess,
it's just
to explain, but like, and like as much to go bring up Pirates of the Caribbean again, the second and third movies, they went really big. Like, I rewatched them recently. I had forgotten like how big they had tried to make those two movies, like how much was going on, and I, even if it doesn't make sense 100% of the time, I can respect it, you know.
Yeah, it's like even then with stuff like Fast and Furious, and I don't know if you remember this, but like the Ninja Turtle reboot,
I had never watched them.
It's like I only watched the second one.
I might have seen a video on them, but I never actually watched them.
I watched the second one, and it wasn't okay. If you want to judge it by high art standards, it's not good. But like,
if it's just
but it's
for a
stupid.
Fun movie,
yeah, it's stupid, and unlike some things, I can respect it because at least it leans into it. And that's something
that's also something that I can respect, something that's just trying to have fun, you know.
Yeah,
even if it's not like with that movie. I don't remember their names, but there was the Rhino, such and such character,
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah, I can respect that. As stupid as it is, I can respect it because they're trying to have fun.
It's like, okay, it's like it gets dumb, and you lose respect if you try to take it seriously and make it more than what it is, or try to say it's more than it is. Like, this is this is supposed to have a deep message. It's like, no, these are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting a giant rhino. Who cares?
It's kind of the same thing as like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a show, and Power Rangers, and a few other things. Like, they're having fun. I can't knock them for that, you know. It's
just, it may not be for me, but it's like, you know what? I can't.
That's why at the end of the day, as stupid as Sonic is, I can't knock him too much.
It's like
it's just meant to be fun.
Yes and no. That's the thing.
Wait, real quick, I'm gonna let you speak, but a lot of people credit as liking Sonic more than Mario because Sonic has a personality. He does not. His personality trait is annoying. His personality is to be annoying.
Well, it's like
Mario shows more personality than that in most of his newer games. So suck it, Sonic.
That's the thing. I think with Mario, there's really only one real trait. There's really only one consistent canon.
Yeah.
For Mario. There's so many different versions of Sonic.
And they're all annoying.
It's like, even then,
they're all annoying.
Because I will say, like, the IDW comics, which I'm actually going to release, I think the video I'm going to have on it's going to be released by the time this comes out. But it's like, those IDW comics actually, I think, has the best portrayal of Sonic. Where it's like, he's cocky and he's witty, but he's not annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I just have a good sense of humor. And, you know, I realize that what Eggman's doing is dumb. I'm not going to give him any credit for this. And it's like, I feel like that has the right writing, but it's like the thing with Sonic is that there's a time where it kind of rides that line of like serious, but was not that serious kind of thing. There are things like Shadow the Hedgehog where it's like, okay, yeah, we can admit like you kind of took this a little too seriously.
Well, again, I can respect something for going super ambitious,
and that's why I really,
the one thing I can respect about that game.
And it's like
that's so fucking.
And it's
funny.
like the reason why I think, because in my personal opinion, I think that something like Sonic Forces is worse than Sonic 06 for me.
Yeah.
Because the reason why is because at least with Sonic 06, it tried a lot of different things. I would argue not a lot of them work. I would argue none of them work. But I still like that game because of what it tried to do. It didn't. Yeah. It was ambitious.
Although I think everybody's at level 12 now. If you want to, you're ready to go take on the rival.
Let me get him up just a little bit more since.
Okay. DJ Blazy at least I think should be stronger for the gym at least.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's like, I don't know, the thing with Sonic Forces that I really dislike is just how, I'm not gonna say lazy because people worked hard on it.
Yeah.
And people worked on it. To say it's lazy discredits what they did. But it's more of like a product.
Yeah.
Where it's like we're just trying to, go with the lowest common denominator. We're not really trying to do anything. And it kind of ignores almost all the things that we liked about Sonic. And like the things that it did, like, first of all, it copies the gameplay from Generations, which copied the gameplay from Unleashed. And for some reason, it's a regression. It's the worst one out of those. I don't know how or why. And you can say like, oh, they worked on the engine to get clear. That doesn't matter if you make a bad game.
I still love it. Like the only good thing to come out of Sonic in like years has been Mania, which was fan made.
And it's like and I think that's the most disappointing thing because I'm not a big fan of Mania personally. I like it. I really enjoy it, but it's like it's not something I constantly go back to.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's 2D Sonic, but I'm not a big 2D Sonic person. I definitely prefer 3D. Those 3D games. But it's like, I'll say this. The main issue I have that I think Sonic has is that it doesn't have a vision. It doesn't know what it wants to do. People can say whatever they want. Like, with Mario's so boring. It has a direction. It has consistency.
And Mario has more personality than people give him credit for.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that.
Luigi actually has a lot of personality.
But it's like they all have kind of like a through line. Like, we want to do this. We want to do that. This is the direction that Mario is going.
Yeah.
The people, Nintendo knows what they're doing. Sonic,
even in their bad times, like, how people wouldn't buy a Wii U?
Yeah.
And like most of the games on there weren't that good. Even then, like Mario and most of the games on it are still like very playable and like at least
it's like I got a Wii U. I got a Wii U and I just finished
like it may not be top
3D
tier
World.
Mario, but like
I played 3D World.
Still quality games,
I had a lot of fun with 3D World.
Like even the bad Mario parties, they're still very much playable,
But it's like with Sonic, especially now, it's
like that's kind of thing is like the very best of the Sonic party games, probably still not as good as the worst of Mario Party.
It's like they're not because they never. Sonic Shuffle is the only one that even came close to that, and that was, I'm not gonna even front, that was awful. Yeah. And I think the main thing about it, I'm gonna finish this thought and I'm gonna go fight the rival. But it's just the main thing is that there are so many different versions of Sonic to where, and Sega wants to listen to the fans, but they've made so many versions of Sonic that everyone wants something different.
Yeah.
And because of that, they don't know what they want to do with it anymore. That's the
kind of weird thing is like Mario actually hasn't been that dissimilar because like they've gone so many directions with Mario with like the various party games, card games.
Yeah, but you don't have like, oh, there's classic Mario and then there's like they're all still Mario.
It depends on who you ask.
But it's like there isn't like different Marios.
There's a surprisingly complex timeline going on in these, according to the theorists out there.
But I mean, like there isn't like a different one where it's like, even like Mario Sunshine, even though it has the FLUDD, it's still an extension off of 3D Mario. They're all some sort of extensions. Well, each Sonic game has a drastically different playstyle and a drastically different feel with a drastically different canon.
Yeah. By the way, I just love to give credit to Mario for having so many different kinds of games. You know, like kart.
Want to make me some balls?
Stuff.
Hold on. What?
Yeah, he can make balls.
Okay.